Alright, now in this lesson we'll be learning how to find the products when we multiply binomial by trinomial. So binomial simply two terms, and then trinomial simply three terms, right? It's a compulsory exam question. It always appears in grade 10 papers, so make sure you understand how to do it. Right, we will go through it. Alright, so step one, I'm going to separate. You don't need to do this, but I'm separating using distributive law. So 3x must be multiplied with all three terms, and minus 4y must be multiplied by all three terms. So using distributive law, 3x times 2x squared, positive times negative negative, 3x times 3xy, positive times positive, 3x times 5y squared. The second part, negative times positive stays negative, 4y times 2x squared. Negative times negative would become positive, 4y times 3xy, and then negative times positive become negative, 4y times 5y squared. So that gives me 3 times 2, which is 6, x times x squared, which becomes x cubed. Negative stays negative, 3 times 3 would give me 9, x times x, x squared, y. Positive there, 3 times 5 gives me 15, xy squared. Yeah, negative stays negative, 4 times 2 gives me 8, x squared y. Then positive stays positive, 4 times 3 gives me 12, x stays x, but y times y becomes y squared. And then negative there, 4 times 5 give me negative 20, y squared times y cubed. 1 mark for the first three terms being correct, and another mark for the last three terms being correct. So we multiply correctly out, 1 mark, 1 mark, and then from there for the last step we have to add like terms. So there's 6x cubed, stays 6x cubed, there's no other x cubed, 20y cubed stays 20y cubed. They have x squared y and x squared y, so minus 8 minus 9 would give me minus 17 x squared y. Then xy squared and xy squared also like terms, so 15 plus 12 would then give me 27x squared y, so another 2 marks for adding that correctly. So it's going to follow that procedure over and over. So say you don't need to show separate or this step. If you're able to multiply correctly from beginning straight, you can go straight to that step. This is just to show you what happens in between, which sometimes we skip thinking you'll know how to follow the procedure and you don't. Alright, if we look at the second problem, again I have 3x plus 2y. They have 6x squared minus 3x plus 5y squared. 3 terms, trinomial, 2 terms, binomial. So separate using distributive law, so 3x times all 3 terms in the bracket, plus 2y times all 3 terms in the bracket. So I have 3x times 6x squared. Positive times negative gives me negative 3x times 3xy. Positive times positive stays positive, 3x times 5y squared. If I go to the second one, positive times positive stay positive, 2y times 6x squared. Positive times negative becomes negative, and that becomes 2y times 3xy. Then positive times positive stay positive, 2y times 5y squared. So 3 times 6 gives me 18, x squared times x gives me x cubed. Negative stays negative, 3 times 3 would give me 9, x times x, x squared, y. Positive stays positive, 3 times 5 give me 15, xy squared. There, positive stays positive, 2 times 6 would give me 12, x squared times y simply stays x squared y. Negative stays negative, 2 times 3 would give me 6, x stays x, but y times y would give me y squared. Positive stay positive, 5 times 2 would give me 10, y squared times y would give me y cubed. Alright, so if I add the like terms now, 18x cubed, there's no partner, so it stays 18x cubed. 10y cubed, there's no partner, so it stays 10y cubed. Alright, from there, x squared y, x squared y. So 12 minus 9 gives me 3x squared y. Xy squared. Like terms, 15 minus 6 gives me 9x squared y. 1 mark for all three being right, 1 mark for all three being right, 1 mark for adding the like terms. Right, so I hope you understand. So it's just a pattern, get used to following it. Right, but this should be 4 marks in the bag if you practice it properly in exam.